everybody, Brian Merton.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm a legend in my own mind. Well, thank you all for coming, and it's really good to be back on with people for the first time in a while.
Accurate costuming. There's definitely some fans that want to see screen representations of characters, and we wanted to make sure that we serve that desire. He has a swap out arm, so he's got his two major power expressions too, with his lightsaber and a force hand, and he's got so much tension in him and so much power. But it is it's that dark anger. But the power and the beauty of that, I think a lot of people, anger is a very motivational force. And so that's what we wanted to capture with this piece. We also have our Darth Vader mythos piece. And I wanted to showcase here, this is really about the inner conflict of this character and the battle. I think a lot of people connect with him as a figure of redemption. So as you can see, we have a fully masked portrait as well as fully unmasked, and then sort of battle damaged in between.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, so as you know, Mandalorian was a huge success, and to a lot of us Star Wars fans, that was really a flashback to why we really love Star Wars. The story, the props, the costumes, the set, everything. So with that, because of the success of our first Mandalorian helmets, we made a PCR version of the helmet, which is at a lower price point, but it has all the same detail as the limited edition one. This is the Luke lightsaber. People, I'm sure you recognize it as the one for Return of the Jedi, but this is the version as seen in the last scene of The Mandalorian, because when Luke came back in that last season, you know how we all felt about that. Then, of course, for Mandalorian also, we have the Armorer helmet, which I thought was really a cool character. And it's a beautiful helmet in addition to that.
How did you come about making this helmet?
Well, this helmet, we were supplied with the actual master patterns cast from the same mold that was made to use the screen use helmet. Like I said earlier, that we were very fortunate to work with the original model makers who worked closely with us to get these right. Then we have the Ahsoka Tano lightsabers. As many of you know who've been with us for 15 years now, we did the Ahsoka lightsaber from Clone Wars, which did really well for us. So this is the Rosario Dawson version of the Ahsoka Tano lightsabers. Here's the Ahsoka clone. So just a little bit back in time to the Clone Wars, but this has always been a very popular clone helmet. And lastly, this is our exclusive. This is the Grand Inquisitor rank badge that will be seen in the Kenobi series starting tonight.
We hit certain price points, so we can't go super overboard. So a lot of times we got to pull it back. We either have to scale back on the amount of details, extra parts we include, but we're always pushing that envelope, always trying to give the consumer and the fans like yourself the very best representation of whatever character, scene, whatever we're making. So that's really what we strive for when we're making Star Wars. I want to thank everyone for coming out to Celebration, and we've had a little break. It's been I've been at the booth, and the crowds have been just tremendous. I mean, the traffic coming in and just real interest in our products. So first of all, shameless plug. We do have an exclusive. We are sold out for today. So, I mean, that was amazing. We will have quantities for tomorrow and Friday. This will not be available Sunday, unfortunately, because we're totally pretty much sold out of it. But it is the white armor version of Boba Fett, inspired by his screen test for Empire Strikes Back. And that is at our booth 1408. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly because I know we have a lot of other great people up here that want to talk about their products. But all of these are pretty much first-time reveals, and some of these are at our booth right now, including this Boba Fett from the book Boba Fett. Now, this is Artifacts Plus, and for those that are maybe not too familiar with our product lines for Star Wars, we have two main product lines. Artifacts Plus is 1/10 scale, and Artifacts is going to be 1/7 scale. They're PVC ABS plastic. With the Artifacts Plus, we tend to include a base that has an embedded magnet or steel plate. The magnet's in the feet, so you can kind of position it wherever you do like. So this is going to be our Artifacts Plus Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett. If you come to our booth, we actually have a grayscale model of him with his helmet off. And so that we didn't have time to bring the Paint Master, but you can take a look at that at our booth. We also are completing our Bad Batch teams. So for the first time here, we're publicly showing Crosshair. Again, Artifacts, so that's going to be 1/7 scale. All our Bad Batch characters do have two different portraits, so you can have them with the helmets on or off. And the base is somewhat unique because you can put pegs under the feet, so you can kind of position it wherever you like. It's kind of like a steel grate, so you can kind of move it around. And those bases actually do kind of line up very well. So I'll show you in this, not this slide, but the next one. We're also doing Echo, and we're showing the Paint Master of Echo here. So what that means is that's like a one prototype. That is like, what we do is we will have the 3D sculpt, we print it out, and then we'll have someone make a cast of it and we'll paint it, and then that's what we take the photos of and send it to Brian for approval. If you come to our booth, you'll notice that Echo is slightly larger than all the other Bad Batch. He will shrink once we actually go into production, so it will all look uniform. And then here's a scene with all our Bad Batch members, and again, of course, Crosshairs, that's before Order 66, so we know what happened with that. So right now we actually have Wrecker and Hunter available at our booth. Tech will be arriving to retailers in a couple of months, and Crosshairs and Echo have not gone up for pre-order yet. Probably in the next month or so you'll start seeing pre-orders pop up for those two characters. Okay, so the next series of slides, we don't have really anything to show as far as prototype images, because these are first-time reveals, worldwide first-time reveals. Aren't you guys so lucky? So we're going to be doing our Artifacts 1/7 scale Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, kind of a no-brainer. I don't know if the final concept has been finalized, but I believe he will be kind of stepping off the throne room. We're going to try to include as much of that environment as we can. Of course, we have to keep cost in mind. I don't know when the pre-order is going to open up for this. Maybe end of this year, hopefully. We're also going to be doing Chrysanthemum, so real excited to see this character added in 1/7 scale. And then from the Clone Wars, we have two previous Clone Wars releases. That would be Ahsoka, and we have Captain Rex. So we're going to be adding Darth Maul, and I believe the plan is to have Darth Maul sculpted in a way that he can be facing off with Ahsoka, if you decide to already have her in your collection. And this one I'm really excited about. We're going to be doing Cad Bane and Todo. So I was really pleased that our team decided to go in this direction. This is again going to be from the Clone Wars. And pre-orders are probably, I would say on this one, open up late this year or early next year. Very early in what these announcements that we're making. And of course, we're excited to announce we will be supporting Obi-Wan Kenobi. And as a real early treat, we're going to show you a shadow of a character we'll be making from that. I'm not going to disclose who it is.
So, since we're talking about the jumbos and the 12-inch figures that we currently do, this is one of the concept versions of Darth Vader. So we kind of went back and looked at what we were doing. And, you kind of do run the course with the jumbo figures because there were only so many made. So we kind of thought, well, if Ralph McQuarrie's original works actually did become what you see on screen, we wanted to see what that would look like if it was an actual action figure. We actually referenced a lot of the EFX helmet to get that helmet to look pretty good. Also has the retractable lightsaber and vinyl cape, just like the Darth Vader figure had from 1977. And there's a Luke to accompany it. There's no Tusken Raider, but there is a Luke. And Luke will come with a lightsaber, has a clear visor, and again, based off of Ralph McQuarrie's artwork. And we got Cobb Vanth. He's currently wearing the Boba Fett armor that he gets. It's not a digital scan, but I think it's a very good likeness. It also comes with a alternate head that has the helmet on. And the paint on this is really good if you get a chance to see it in person. The battle damage, all of the weathering, it really looks really sharp in person. And it's part of our 1/6 scale, our core line of all of the minibus that we've been doing for over 20 years. This one I love. It's obviously Ahsoka from the climax of the last scene of Rebels, when Sabine goes to meet with her. And you know, she's also got the owl on her shoulder, and you don't really know what's going to happen there. But this is going to come out around December. It's just a great piece. It just speaks for itself.
I remember having a lot of conversations about this one.
Yeah, we did. We talked a long time about it. Yeah, it's a really excellent one. Then here we have Carrie Fisher as Bouch. This piece has an alternate head, so you can take the helmet and put it on her head, and then we can replace the helmet in her right hand with a thermal detonator. It's our 1/7 scale statue. And then we have the Clone Wars duel with Darth Maul and Ahsoka. This is one of our 1/6 scale milestone statues. And the bases kind of work together so they can be displayed together depending however you want to put them on your shelf. We've got the clear lightsabers and the battle damage on the bases, you know, from their classic duel.
But there's a massive attention to detail. And there's also the interpretive series, Meisho movie realization, it's designed by Takayuki Takeya, who does his own samurai-esque or feudal Japan renditions that I'll take you through as well. You know, I've been in his workshop before, and it's amazing. I've been to the Shizuoka Hobby Center, the factory where they manufacture these things, and it's just wonderful to see the cultural interpretations that come out with not only the attention to detail, but the culture that's imbued in some of these products from Bandai Spirits. Am I allowed to go through?
You're allowed to go, yeah. You're a driver.
All right. So with that, as a segue, not so clean, but fall 2022, we will have, this is the 1/12 series, 1/12 scale series. It also incorporates cloth into this line as well. So there's multiple, there's the face without the helmet, interchangeable parts, and also it is articulated. And also coming out this fall is a 1/4 scale Grogu. Look at that, those interchangeable face parts that you have. A lot of options. The eating one is my favorite. And you can see those, 4 different expressions. It also comes with the hover pram and a 1/12 scale, sold separately for the Mandalorian model kit, but it comes with that 1/12 scale, so it is really 2 kits in one. Again, these are the upcoming releases that are coming out from Bandai Hobby. We're going to get a little interactive as I go through this one. This is the Meisho Movie Realization Series, our favorite samurai and feudal Japan takes on our favorite Star Wars characters, designed from the sculptor Takeya. And there's a lot of detail here. This is something we're displaying in the booth, the Daimyo. That's like the Lord of Lords, Boba Fett in our booth. And so, there's a lot of, I know we're getting a lot of questions, but this is scheduled for release in early 2023. The diorama is not for sale, but we're definitely getting a lot of requests to have diorama components, and there's a lot of detail in this diorama.
I think I can approve that.
Yeah, there's a lot. And
if everybody agrees.
The Mandel skull. So please definitely come check it out. Have a look at him on his grand full glory on the throne. There's a lot of cool things there. We're also doing where we have a bunch of prototypes. I know a couple of them, like IG-11, Juichi in this case. The Shogun Akbar have been displayed before. And so I know a personal favorite of yours, Ryan, the Gamorrean Guard we also have, the Nobushi. So I know some people want to clap, and we are doing a little you get to vote as your favorite political candidate, which one should get made next. There's little orange stickers you can put on there, and you actually get a free Meisho pin when you participate, so please come by the booth. But I think, all right, we, Bandai, have our toys and our collectibles have integrated. But as I was explaining with my experience in Galaxy's Edge, that we really start to transcend generations, and Tamagotchi is not a kid's toy anymore. We do have an exclusive, it's super popular. Sorry, shameless plug. It's selling out fairly early in the day, but we're trying to reserve for all days so we can get some families as well. Please come by to our booth. Also, we do have the regular R2-D2 out in the market with a bunch of fantastic gameplay, 19 different modes, and a bunch of great mini games. Too many games, sorry.
I'll flip pretty quick. We've been keeping these people away for a long time. So, all the stuff that we've been just talking about in terms of scanning things and everything, this is all part of our new archive collection. It really is, we've called it the evolution and expansion and continuation of stuff we've really already been doing. Over the years, we've released stuff like the Rancor prop replica, which was scanned off the original, CZ3 prop replica bust, scanned off the original. We've released things like the Tauntaun maquette, which we've got down in our booth that came out of Phil Tippett's original molds. We've done some stuff, and we have some stuff coming up that are coming out of molds that were used to make things for shows. These are some of those things. The hollow chest set there are all one-to-one to the original puppets, using the digital scans and things that Phil Tippett's team did when they remade the chess set for The Force Awakens. And this really is, you know, I think it's the ultimate expression of what we've just been doing all along, and what you and I have been building along with, I'll point out Rob in the audience, my creative director that sits in the office with me, and we beat our heads against the wall making this stuff, and everybody on the crew. So this is the first official archive collection piece, the Max Rebo concept maquette replica, aka Red Ball Jet. At the show, we've got a signature edition with Phil Tippett's signature. We've got 83 of those here, and actually, as of today, we've only got 43 of those here, or something along those lines. They went extremely fast this morning, so we're just releasing a few more tomorrow and Saturday. So if it's something you want to get, please visit us at the booth. The numbered edition will be coming out June 7th. That'll be available for pre-order on the website, regalrobot.com. And this is just, you know, I love going back. So that's still on the left is, you know, from Star Wars to Jedi, the making of a saga. Gabe brought it up. I wore that tape out. I mean, those guys are, Phil Tippett, he's a rock star, look at him. And what I love about this is on the picture on the right, the shadow person that he drew to scale up the costume is totally Phil's profile right there. He's even got a little grumpy mouth. Also, Max Rebo only has legs. He doesn't have, or arms, or whatever those are. Like, there's no more of them. The Kenner figure was wrong. Like, this is actually his whole of anatomy. But that's another thing. The next one up after that is going to be the Bib Fortuna concept. Again, these are pulled from the original concept maquettes that were used to create the creatures during the production of Return of the Jedi. We're really lucky the archive saved all of this wonderful concept art, all of these things that, you know, Bib Fortuna doesn't exist if some artist didn't create this weird, funky maquette of them. And I love that stuff. I love that it's offbeat. You know, it's great to have the representation and the figures and things like that look exactly like on the screen. But like Deb was even saying, you know, was it you with the Tusken Raider? Yeah. Like, you know, there's a feeling to the original thing, and to go back and mine that, and to give us some variety on the shelves, right? These are amazing. So this is Phil Tippett's original concepts for the Tauntaun, and they're all like dragony and ram-like and stuff, and some of them are even sculpted different on each side, because he was just trying different things. And all of these were still at the archives, and we managed to get really great digital scans of them and bring them back, and there's a vintage picture on the top left. And it's just, to line these up the first time after we had them in our shop and like we had prototyped them, and line them up like that picture was just like, oh my God, that's the picture from the book. Now that's an unpainted prototype. This is also down at the booth if you want to come and get a sneak peek. This is the Weequay maquette, another from the series. All of the, you know, this is how those characters were made, and I just love this stuff. And this is showing them in with some of the other maquettes we've done. We've done the Jabba the Hutt, that sold out a little, about a year ago. We still got the Tauntaun maquette, again, out of Phil Tippett's original molds from 1978. And then that Gamorrean is actually a Mandalorian concept sculpt by Tony McVeigh, who created Salacious Crumb and the giant scale Rancor hand and stuff for Return of the Jedi. They brought him back to do concept work, and those original molds are still around, so our stuff has direct lineage to this. This is our next one-to-one bust. This is also down at the booth, 2518, big plug, come see us, no shame. This is one-to-one to the original prop. This is the second one that we scanned because we had to. We had to go back. And, you know, just really, really heavy into the detail on this. The weathering had to be right. The shredding on the edges had to be right. We tried all different variations on this stuff. Just to get the color right on the wraps was an amazing challenge. And, you know, anybody that's ever had to dye fabric knows it's alchemy. Like there are no laws of science and nature that apply when you're dyeing fabric. And one of the cool things here is, you know, the mouth section there. So these are real metal machine parts on all the metal parts, but all of the quote leather is actually resin because we had that scan and we wanted to make sure every wrinkle matched up to the real prop when you got it. So we just did a really cool tech paint on it to make sure it felt like real leather when you looked at it. Keeping with the Tuscan theme. And here's another neat one when talk about authenticity. So in the archives, they've got one of the Gaffy sticks, but it's in the configuration it was after Star Wars, which meant the pineapple end horn had broken off and been sharpened and kind of shortened. And the end with the spike was a little shorter. And what was neat was, do I have another picture to go with? Yeah. What was neat was we found that the Rancor Keeper staff was out of the same mold as the Hero Gaffy stick. And so what we did was we scanned the, you know, quote, better of the two, the A New Hope Gaffy, but then we scanned the point off of the Rancor Keeper one because it had the intact, unbroken point. So that we could do the Hero Peter Diamond look Tusken Raider Gaffy. And I'll go back one. So the metal end on this is real welded steel. Everything else is resin painted to look like wood, and the original props on these were resin. These were duplicates made by Bapti. You know, they probably had a real Kotobukiya from Fiji that they had molded years ago, but the ones used in Star Wars were resin. And now, one of the things my company gets to do is make some props for shows every now and again. If you saw Book of Boba Fett, you probably saw some of our monsters in there. Brian Sipe did the makeup for the show, and they did an amazing job painting them, but like we did their band guy head, and Snaggletooth, and a Cabe, Shadrafan, and stuff like that. And when they went to do the Tusken Raiders for Mandalorian, they needed Gaffy sticks. They came to us for the Kotobukiya part of it, which we had a mold of a replica that I had done years ago. And so from that mold, we're able to make our replica of that particular Gaffy stick and, you know, really give you something that's just the closest thing you can get to the real prop. Great lineage. These are, both Gaffy sticks are on display at booth 2518. Please come see them. And those will be coming out in late summer. I think mid to late summer is the Tusken Bust, and then that. We also have a decor line. And unlike, you know, as you can probably tell from what you're looking at, we like to have fun with it. So we came up with the Separation Collection. Because everybody knows, you know, one of the most famous things about Star Wars is it's a lot of cut off limbs. It's a kid's movie. So we thought it'd be fun to explore a little of that, and it has been a lot of fun. All of these magnets are resin. A lot of them are hand cast. They're all hand painted and things like that right in our studio. If you come down, you'll see Marie at the booth. Tell her, great job painting that. It looks like real metal. And so yeah, so you've got everything from, you know, these limbs. You've got the parts of the galaxy, which is a little more proppy. That's R2-D2's holo projector, restraining bolt, the gargoyle from Boba Fett's throne, the Mando grav charge, and of course the switch that kills the Rancor and the skull that was thrown at it, and just because we're ridiculous. Some more of our decor stuff. We do a lot of wall art. All of this stuff is down at the booth to see. The towel ring based on Jabba's dais is a pretty cool one, and we get a lot of good feedback on that. And everybody loves Boba Fett and Mando, and Mio Nakamura did a beautiful hand sculpt on the big bone skull there and the small one, and Tony Cipriano did a digital sculpt of the Mudhorn skull.
Do you still have the door knocker?
No, the door knocker we had to discontinue. Yeah, it was the thing with metal prices. We couldn't get it at the price we wanted anymore. But we had done a version of that as an actual metal door knocker. This is a really cool new piece, and this is another one based on a scan from the archives. This thing is about 6 or 7 feet long, the real prop. So we're doing a wall decor piece and a magnet that's about 5 inches. If anybody, show of hands, who's even seen this before? Like, this is a deep cut. I got I got 2, but he works for me. 3, 4, all right. Oh God, yeah, a few, all right. So this is in Jabba's sail barge, way in the back, and you barely see it in the movie, but one day we were in the archives and we look and there's a 7-foot-long amazing bronze Rancor, and it's like, oh, we've got to do something with this. So we are. Like I said before, it's good. Like, it's good to work on this stuff. And this is the newest furniture piece. We've got a pair of these at the table. These are Cantina-inspired seating. We've done these as props for commercials and things in the past, years ago. These are like actual, functional, comfortable, real furniture. Come sit on them. It'll be great. You've been walking around a lot. It'll be nice.
Brag to your friends.
Yeah. And they're just, I like that they're kind of a little bit like, mid-century modern, just kind of like a sleek, simple bench chair. You put them in your house, don't even tell anyone they're Star Wars, So yeah, come see all the new stuff. We're down at booth 20.